Hello everybody and welcome back. My name is Kari and today I'm doing my April TBR. March did not go at all how I planned, in many ways, but suffice to say I did not get through more than 2 of the library books, and really I just completely deviated from my TBR. So take all of the library books that were on my March TBR and add them to this. Because I've talked about them in both the library haul that I posted back in February and my March TBR, I'm not going to go through them again here. Most of them are science and history nonfiction. One of them is about Elizabeth, and I have Wolf Hall out as well on the recommendation of a coworker. Beyond that, I do still want to read 1776 by David McCullough and the 4th Outlander book. Pretty much the entirety of my March TBR, but we'll see how that goes. The library books do need to be done in April because they are due on April 30th. Because of the pandemic, the deadline for those, the due date, was extended until April 30th without me having to renew it, which is great because the library is currently closed, which is unfortunate, but it does mean I have more time. Anyway, that said, there are several other books that I want to get to in April, so let's get into that. But before I do, I keep forgetting to mention, because I'm very sidetracked, my sister has started a baking channel. She is vegan and loves to bake, so she's found a whole bunch of different ways to make the things that she really likes, such as strawberry rhubarb pie. She made edible cookie dough the other day. She's made rolls. Oh, she made mousse. She made mousse 2 weeks ago now, and it's really fun to watch her. So I will link her channel down below if you want to go check her out. Obviously, I am very biased. I think she's amazing and the best person in the world, but go judge for yourself. So, like I said, link down below. Her channel name is Messy Vegan Baker, and the aprons she's wearing, I made for her, which, I mean, is also just another reason to go watch because you get to see a bunch of different aprons. Enough said, let's get into the books. So the first one is The Bird King by G. Willow Wilson. I read The Butterfly Mosque by her and absolutely loved it. It was a nonfiction. I have a review from, I think, the first 3 or 4 months when I started BookTube, so I'll go find that and link that down below as well. But I really love her writing style and just all of it. So when this came out, I really wanted to get it, but it was a little bit more than I could afford at the time. So instead, I waited until I had the $20 from that Audible challenge, I guess, where if you read 3 books via Audible that were over 3 hours between January something and March 3rd, and then were still subscribed on March 17th, you got 20 bucks. And I bought this with it, in part. So you'll see this in my March haul. But this is the story of a concubine in the court of Granada, which is in Spain, the most southern point of Spain, in 1491. And so it's, well, what's happening in Spain in 1491 through the eyes of this concubine Fatima, which sounds awesome. I've been to Granada, it's beautiful, the Alhambra. Oh, if you ever get a chance, go. Obviously not right now, stay home. Just stay home. Stay in your houses, your nice little hobbit holes. Stay there, please. Anyway, really excited about this because A, I've been to Granada and it's beautiful, B, I love the history, and C, that time is fascinating because in 1492 Isabella and Ferdinand actually drive out the last of the Arabs who had been, well, ruling there. Anyway, really excited about this, and fingers crossed I can get to it in April. I just have to actually stick to a TBR this month. That's a bookshelf. Next we have a series, which is the Descendants series by Melissa de la Cruz. This one, I really want to rewatch all 3 movies. I love them all so much, and I've never read the books, so I would like to read the books. Isle of the Lost, Return to the Isle of the Lost, Rise of the Isle of the Lost, and Escape from the Isle of the Lost. And then I would like to, in the same weekend, watch all 3 movies again. So this will be an entire weekend project, but I would love to be able to do that. And theoretically, probably I can do it in April because as of today, Minnesota is still under the shelter-in-place order until April 10th, which means that this coming weekend, the 4th and 5th of April, there we go. Obviously, I can't really go anywhere or do anything, so it seems like a good time to read these. If you don't know what Descendants is about, it is about the kids of the heroes and villains that we know. So there's Ben, who's the son of Belle and Beast. There's Mal, who's the daughter of Maleficent. Evie, who's the daughter of Evil Queen. Jay, son of Jafar. And Carlos, son of Cruella de Vil. All of the evil people have been put off on this island where they can't get off. And Ben decides that he's going to bring over the four villain kids that I mentioned, to where the good people are and sort of give them a chance because kids are not their parents. And we go from there. Like I said, I adore the movies, and so I'm really excited to jump into the world of the books. Then we have two books that just appeal to me in this time of pandemic craziness and stupidity. First one is 5 Feet Apart by Rachel Lippincott with Mickey Daughtry and Tobias Laconius. I went and saw the movie for this before I found out it was a book, because it has Cole Sprouse and I like him. So this one is about two teenagers with a respiratory disease that means they need a lung transplant, but basically they die pretty young. It's really awful, and the guy has some more serious version of it where he can't come within 6 feet of anybody else who has this disease, or he'll give it to them and then you can't have a lung transplant because there's no point. Yeah, it's a whole big thing. I can't explain it better than that, but basically these two have to stay 6 feet apart, and it's a YA contemporary, so obviously they fall in love, and yeah. But I really liked the movie, and I love this cover. It's beautiful, and having seen the movie, it makes sense. It's also pretty short, so it shouldn't take me long, but since we are supposed to be, when out, social distancing 6 feet apart, this just seems so unbelievably apt that I had to read it. Planning on reading this one is because it is a dual timeline story. The first timeline takes place in 1518 Strasbourg, where there is a dance fever. This dance fever was actually a real thing, and it took the lives of several hundred people, if I remember correctly. It's not a laughing matter, people dying, but the fact that it was a dance craze is just, it's so ludicrous that how could you ever believe that it happened? But it did. And so that's the first perspective. And then later, in modern day, we have Rosella Olivas. We have her, and she gets these shoes that make her dance uncontrollably. Presumably those shoes have something to do with the dance craze of 1518, and she and whoever she decides to join her have to figure out why in order to get them off her feet so she doesn't die from exhaustion. It's a plague, it's a panic. Why not read it when there's a pandemic? The last one is The Light of All That Falls by James Islington. I did plan on reading this in March, but I've barely hit 7 books in March. So apparently reading 46 books in the first 2 months really just nails me afterwards. But I do still really want to read this one because I really love the trilogy, so far anyway, and I want to see how it ends sooner rather than later. Therefore, I will be reading this one hopefully in April. I might even start it in March because I still have 2 days and a half. But at any rate, I would like to continue this one. It is a fantasy where there are augurs who have to be tethered to, I don't think they're actually called wizards, but we're going to call them that for lack of memory. They have to be tethered to wizards so that the augurs can't become all-powerful, which is what they have been in the past, and it ended badly. One of our main characters is an augur, and he's trying to hide it, and things just kind of escalate really fast. There's a lot of intrigue in this. There is, if I remember correctly, a wall. I don't know why fantasy books have so many walls, but they do. At any rate, I really enjoyed it. It's definitely high fantasy, but I'm excited. Apparently I just can't go without doing an ambitious TBR. So I think I have maybe 20 books on it again, but we're gonna go for it and see if maybe staying home gets me somewhere. Anyway, those are all the books I'm hoping to read in April. I'm not even going to say planning because at this point it is a very slim hope. But I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you've read any of those books, want to read, whatever, down in the comments, and I will see you in my next video.